All right, we're live, class. Let's make some noise. Let's go. Come on, jack it up in here. Let's go. Yeah, see, they're out there. Okay, this is live. All right. We're going to do this puzzle problem here. This is a work problem. And so, why don't you read it for us? Go ahead.
Natalie can finish an 500-piece puzzle in about 8 hours. When Natalie and
Stop right there. Okay. Natalie can finish. We need to pull out some pertinent information here. Natalie herself can finish a 500-piece puzzle in about 8 hours. That's herself, right? So let's put an expression on the board for Natalie. Here we go. If she can do the whole puzzle, don't get caught up with the word or the number 500. That's just one puzzle. So the number 500 is kind of like a trick number in the problem. Sometimes there's a little trick, extra information there to screw you up. That's a trick number. Watch out. So we're talking about one puzzle here. So Natalie can do one puzzle in 8 hours. There's her rate. She can do 1/8 of a puzzle per hour. If X represents the number of hours she's working, then it takes her 8/8 hours to do one complete puzzle, right? So if I was going to make an equation with just Natalie, and we want to say we want this equal to one puzzle, I'll do 1/1 for Claire. Okay. So she does one whole puzzle in 8 hours. So what value for X would make this equation true? 8. Takes her 8 hours to do one puzzle because that's what it says, right? The rest of the problem adds Renzo. Hey, Renzo. Renzo and her work together. They can finish a 500-page puzzle in about 4.5 hours. Boom. Okay, now they're working together. So they don't give us Renzo's rate. See? So really, like, if we want to add Renzo's work in here, and they're going to work the same amount of hours, so it's both X over each rate. But we don't know Renzo's rate, so we're just going to put an R in there. So we have two variables right now, and this is kind of sticky. When we have two variables, that's not good. But do we really have two variables?
No.
All right, yeah, we don't, because they give us the information here. We'll go green. Oh yeah, this information right here, 4.5 hours. They work together in about 4.5 hours. That tells me that the time they spend working is 4.5 hours. Together, X/8 plus X/R is going to equal 1, but we know X. X is actually 4.5. So let's replace X with 4.5. So this is going to be 4.5 hours at whatever Renzo's rate is, plus 4.5 hours at Natalie's rate, which is 1/8 of a puzzle an hour. So Natalie does 4.5/8 of a puzzle. She does more of the work, right? Natalie's going to be doing more than half of the work, just a little bit more than half. She's doing 4.5/8 of the puzzle. Renzo's doing 4.5 I don't know's of the puzzle, and we want that equal to one puzzle. So there you have a rational equation, and to solve that, you get a common denominator, 8R. If every denominator is 8R, then we can just ignore them. So I'll multiply this one by R/R, this one by 8/8, and this one by the whole thing, 8R/8R. Hey, why am I able to do that, multiply by R/R? Isn't that just changing something? Doesn't that just change? How am I able to just change it like that? Well, really, it's just a fancy looking 1, right? So go ahead, I'll clean that up, and we'll come back with a clean equation here.